I had the skills, but I had no gear whatsoever. Going full-time felt impossible until I stopped doing one thing.
Today in Brentwood, Essex, it's currently about 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Just a gentle reminder to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the latest updates. Thanks a bunch.
So in 2023, I decided to become a full-time freelance videographer. After spending 7 years at a production company in Covent Garden as a video production manager, I decided to finally take the leap and completely change my lifestyle forever. Being at the same company for that amount of time really did give me the opportunity to learn as much as I possibly could. And as soon as I started out as a freelancer, it was shocking to see how much I had to learn from scratch. There were so many things that I had to know before I went into this career. But the two things that really kept me motivated was one, being able to work for myself, and two, being able to take any job that came my way. Having those two goals at the forefront of my mind really pushed me to become the freelancer that I am today. So come with me on this journey as I show you exactly how I did it. So the first job that I ever got was a video production assistant in a small production agency in Covent Garden. I remember thinking how excited I was at the time that I finally landed my first ever role in the industry. After spending many years working my way up as a runner, I was finally given a job title that I felt proud of. And not only was I working with some incredibly exciting clients at the time, I was also learning how to film and edit on a variety of different shoots. Those 7 years not only gave me the confidence to go out and deal with client personalities on set, but I was also able to figure out what I was good at and what I was bad at. After a couple of years, I was promoted to a video production manager, which basically meant that I got to oversee every single project from start to finish. Whereas before, I was pretty much just cutting up B-roll and assisting on shoots. This time, I was able to go out on my own and also work with clients on a much more personal scale. As soon as 2019 approached, I started to think differently about what I wanted to do in the film industry. And before I tell you what that was, I just want to ask you guys to hit that subscribe button, as these videos are still not sponsored. So yeah, basically at this point, I decided to make my first ever short film whilst working a full-time job. Being able to make my first ever film really opened up the doors for me in so many different ways. It was the first time ever that I was actually able to gather an experienced cast and crew on a very small budget. We had so many ups and downs on that day, but the one thing that I came away proud of was the amount of work that we achieved in just one day. Looking back at this now, I've definitely grown so much more as a film director, and even though this was my first ever time doing this, it's still really cool to see how far I got with this project. And let's be honest, we've all got to start somewhere. Now, I'd love to say that I made this film, put it up on YouTube, and then just became as big as Steven Spielberg. If anything, I was only at the very beginning of my filmmaking career, even though this is something that I've been working towards my whole entire life. Well, most of it. Whilst I carried on working at a full-time job, I started gaining more experience with script writing, and it was the perfect opportunity to fund my passion projects as well. And throughout the pandemic, I definitely had more than enough time to write some extremely captivating scripts. To be fair, I actually forgot how many scripts I wrote, so that's always a bonus. As soon as the restrictions lifted, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. However, even at this point, freelancing didn't even cross my mind. After the years that followed, I created a few different short films focusing mainly on one character to avoid going over budget. It was a chance for me to still work on my craft, even though I wasn't really working with a crew like my first film, Abstraction. Even though the majority of my films have been forgotten about, I'm still incredibly proud of my motivation to keep going no matter the outcome online. And if you guys haven't seen any of my short films, I'll leave a quick link in the description below. So I guess you're probably wondering, what next? I've made 2 short films, I'm working as a full-time video production manager. Surely this lifestyle will be sustainable for the next few years. Well, after many weeks of debating it, I decided to leave the company as I really felt like it was time for a change. I just thought maybe if I threw myself into another position, hopefully I could carry on funding my short films, keep working with new clients, and hopefully just find that spark again. Unfortunately, the job that I ended up accepting was for a producer role, which meant I wasn't even picking up a camera for the next 7 months. I knew this position was going to be tough from the get-go, and the only way that I knew that I was going to get out of it was by handing in my notice and becoming a freelance videographer. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll send across my day rate and portfolio. Can I take a quick email address, please? After a couple of stressful weeks, the contract came to an end and I was officially a freelancer. I remember thinking at the time how incredibly scary this move was. Coming from a background of having a comfortable paycheck every single month, I was now giving that up to try and pursue my dreams as a filmmaker. At the time, I had no clients, no portfolio, no website. I knew the only way that I was going to be able to do this was to really push myself in the deep end and just hope for the best. After a couple of weeks, I realised this was going to be a lot harder than I thought. So the one thing that I did was I started focusing on the closest job that I could possibly get to at least get me started. And the first job that came to mind was the company that I worked for 7 years. I knew they were needing some freelance support, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to get myself started. And just like that, I was then asked to come back within a month of becoming an out-of-work freelancer. Luckily, this job went on for a couple of months. In that time, I was able to work with new people who joined the company since I left. Even though I had been working in the same job for 7 years, I did find myself getting stuck in a rut. So being able to speak to new people compared to being in a small video cupboard by myself was an amazing opportunity for me to really force myself to grow even quicker. And as soon as my first ever freelance job finished, I then started to hunt for any job that I could possibly get. It took me a while, but after multiple attempts of phoning people, sending out hundreds of emails, I was slowly getting the odd client here and there. Now, obviously this wasn't enough to pay the bills, so the only thing that I had to do to keep myself afloat was work a part-time job. And this part-time job just happened to be in a completely different industry. I ended up working at the NHS as a booking systems operator for under 2 years. And in that time, the only good thing that I could say about that job was being able to gain more experience with people and speaking on the phone. Now, when you're a freelancer starting out, you tend to cold call a lot of new people. So having that confidence to be able to speak to people on the phone is incredibly important. And as I was dealing with the general public Monday to Friday, I was able to confidently approach clients in a completely different way than I had done before. And soon after balancing 2 jobs, I finally had some clients coming in. Now, I'd love to say that everything turned out great and I just kept getting more clients every single month. But unfortunately, that's not the way freelance goes. I was pretty much left in the dark on so many different months, chasing invoices from clients that weren't paying me, not knowing where I was going to be next month, and it was the scariest feeling I'd ever had. But I knew that if I just kept putting my head down, kept working hard, kept staying up late, just kept emailing people, eventually something would pay off. And after a year of my freelance career, I ended up getting a few regular clients that would come back to me every other month. Those regular clients were then recommending me to other clients, and then before you knew it, I was getting emails from people without even staying up late. So finally, it was starting to snowball.
Well, we make a bowl. Yeah, make it all tight. Yeah. Yeah, and then just roll it.
Now, one thing as a freelancer is you're constantly kept on your toes. Not only are you dealing with a business, you're also dealing with the invoicing, the taxes, you're dealing with promotion, the marketing, the website, the showreel, passion projects to just keep you motivated. Whereas when you're working a 9-to-5 job, you've got a certain level of security over yourself. Not saying that a 9-to-5 job is completely safe, but when you're a freelancer, the difference is everything relies on you. So essentially, I just became totally obsessed. I started focusing heavily on colour grading, learning DaVinci Resolve in the evenings. I then started to focus more on how to light certain scenes by practicing cinematography with lights and natural lighting. I learnt more about social edits, long form editing, YouTube tutorials, how to manage new equipment that I've never even touched before. All of these skills that I was obsessing over just kept pushing me to become a better freelancer day by day. Now, we're pretty much just under 3 years in, and all I can say is what an incredibly difficult journey it's been. Obviously, there's different ways that you can approach a freelance career. Some people will save up over a certain amount of time, and then once they have enough money, they will then go out just to keep themselves afloat. My position was obviously a lot different. I just went completely into this without any financial stability whatsoever, which I don't recommend, but if you have the drive, sometimes putting yourself in the fire isn't always a bad thing. I knew that if I kept pushing and chipping away, eventually something was going to pay off. So for anyone out there who is thinking about becoming a freelance videographer, just be prepared. This thing is not an easy task by any means. One thing that I can say is, it's also the best thing I've ever done. I feel like there's no better feeling to becoming your own boss and also being proud of a journey that you've essentially done all off your own back. So I just want to say a big thank you to all of my clients who have stuck with me over the past couple of years. It really does mean the world. So hopefully this encourages anyone else out there who is thinking about becoming a freelancer, even if it's not videography, just to be able to work for yourself. I didn't go to university, I just fell into a job, loved it enough for me to basically pursue that career as a freelancer. At the moment, I no longer work a part-time job as of January last year. I'm still focusing on directing, writing scripts, making documentaries on YouTube, so things are looking up as of lately. I've still got a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and as you know, in this industry, there's never going to feel feel like a moment where you could just sit back and relax. There's always going to be something to learn, something to focus on, and again, pardon the pun, but something to film. So my journey is far from over, but one thing that I can say is the amount that you can learn within a year is absolutely astonishing. Figure out exactly what you want to do and just keep on pursuing it. So going back to the beginning of this video when I said I became a full-time freelancer until I stopped one thing. And that thing for me was doubting myself. A feeling that only lasted for a short amount of time but could have easily changed my decision forever. I'm so far beyond that mindset now because I feel like I've worked hard enough to get to where I am today. So all I can say is just keep your head down, work hard, become a better person, and eventually good things will follow. And that is it for me in this video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know in the comment section below, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Freelancer that I am today. So come with me on this journey as I show you exactly how I did it. If tomorrow... Oh, great.